نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص.
Now when Allah said to Adam that you will become the oppressive one, and when we hear from the Qur'an, read from the Qur'an, that became the means, the immediate means for Adam's descent from the paradise. And at the same time we hear that Adam was created to be a Khalifa upon the earth. We need to reconcile that Adam had to come out of paradise inevitably because he was the Khalifa upon the earth. Even if this paradise was on earth, it wasn't known as the earth or the earth. Was it the case that Adam's paradise was the earth and Adam knew that he was the Khalifa on that earth and he was slowly being educated? These are possibilities. We find in a hadith that when Adam lamented on the face of the earth, an angel could not withstand his lamentations. He came down and he said to Adam, Adam, you are meant and destined to leave the paradise because before your creation, Allah said, I am making a Khalifa upon the face of the earth. According to this narration, it seems that paradise and earth are two distinct notions in the mind of Adam. Now Adam had to leave paradise at some point and he had to come to earth. And maybe it was his want to not to leave paradise that drove him to consume of that tree. Then why is Allah saying that you will become of the oppressive ones? If we look at the word oppressive, means to become darkened, to not to receive your fullest light. The only meaning this implies is that Adam would have prematurely initiated his journey without first being sufficiently trained to undertake that journey. So Adam had to come to earth, but there were certain lessons Adam had to learn in that realm known as paradise. But Adam cut short his training process and prematurely advances to the earth, and hence the toil that Adam experienced. What the Qur'an says is that as soon as they consumed of that tree, they were removed from that place. Tabatabai Ridwanullah alayhi makes this comment that Allah initially says, do not consume of this tree. As soon as they consumed, Allah said to them, did I not tell you to not to consume of that tree? Immediately the dimension of existence had changed. It was as if a hormone had been introduced into Adam's system that altered his physical constitution. Now let's develop this meaning a little bit more. When Iblis behaved with pride, Allah said, descend from it, for it does not befit you to behave haughtily and arrogantly in there. So it shows that as soon as Iblis manifested his arrogance, he was no longer worthy of being in that subtle realm. And that altered his psychological constitution, or the manifestation of arrogance impacted his psychology to a level that he was removed from that realm at once in an instance. Ahbit minha, descend from it. It's an existential descending. Similarly, when Adam consumed of the tree, his physical constitution changed and he was no longer in that realm. From here we can possibly derive a meaning that those great masters of ours, the prophets and the beloved imams and the lofty saints that the world has produced, because of their restricted nature with matter and material indulgence, their souls had acquired such a refined state that despite existing in this world, they were observing the angelic nature of this world. As the Qur'an says, we showed Ibrahim malakutus samawati wal ard. We showed Abraham the angelic reality of the heaven and the earth that envelopes this earth, and that this earth is not the way me and you are seeing it. The real nature of it is the way Abraham saw it, because he was purged enough of his bodily tendencies to arrive at that realm. So in reverse, what it means is that Adam was in that realm, and once he consumes of that tree, he falls into our realm momentarily. Adam consumes, and the Qur'an states, Shaitan led them through deception, because Shaitan did deceive them, because Shaitan's intention was not noble. Even though what Shaitan says, that you may become angelic or live forever, is true, because it was only after the descent of Adam that Adam could die and live forever and become angelic. But his intention for saying that was inaccurate. He did it out of jealousy. And indeed, Shaitan did say to Allah that I will deceive them and they will not be grateful to you. What he was trying to say there was that this lofty bestowal that you're giving to Adam and his progeny, they will not use it accurately, and that will be their ingratitude. They will not be thankful in the sense that they will not use this divine bestowal of knowledge and khilafah accurately. So the Quran says he led them through deception to show them what was concealed of their private parts. As soon as Adam consumed of the fruit, he felt a sense of constriction within his soul, a sense of distance from that purity and innocence. And for the first time he felt embarrassed. فَبَدَأَ يَخْسِفَانْ مِنْ وَرَقِ الْجَنَّةِ And they began to cover their private parts with the leaves of paradise. Adam realized he was naked, that he had a sexual element to himself and to his constitution. Does that mean that they did not have any private parts? The answer is they had private parts, but they did not have awareness of what it meant to have a private part, of procreating, because this is a very animalistic property within an angelic being. An angel does not have sexual tendencies, and that is why the hadith says that the one who is most chaste is most angelic. Adam became aware of his animalistic nature and his body. Couple that with the angelic purity leads to a sense of embarrassment. And immediately they cry out, Rabbana dhalamna anfusana. O Lord, we have been oppressive to our souls. What it means is we have darkened our souls. Dhalama means to darken. Then that goes back to our initial point, that they were meant to acquire the fullness of their light, after which, when their animalistic constitution is displayed to them, they would be able to understand it through absolute purity, as opposed to taking birth as animals, growing into humanity and into the realms of angelic beings. Now this is something that happens to all of us. When as children we grow up, we are very innocent. We don't understand the meaning of nakedness. But at a particular point in our lives as we are growing, we begin to understand nakedness and the embarrassment that accompanies nakedness. That is the transition that Adam made, and every one of us makes in this worldly life as Adam did. So it is true to say that Adam and Hawa were very, very innocent. They were childlike. They were growing up. But their innocence was cut short abruptly. This may not have been factored in initially to the plan, and that happened at that spur of the moment, and that shows a destiny, as far as God is concerned, occurs in the instance. Nothing can bind God. God acts with free will. At every instance, He acts freely and can change any destiny. Allah wipes clean and establishes, and He has the mother of all books. Now this tree seems to have certain properties that affect Adam's constitution. In certain areas we are told this is wheat. In another place we are told this is an apple. It could be a tree consisting of a variety of fruits. But the thing we understand is that after eating it, Adam's psychological and physical constitution changes. And as that changes, there is a change of realm of existence within Adam.